Today, we'll be putting together the Pull the Shade card. You should have printed 3 sheets of cardstock. One for the card itself, printed on the front and back sides. One for the 2 pictures that will switch places when we pull the shade. And one for the decorative frame and shade pieces. Let's start by cutting the thin white border off of the card. All gone. Next, we'll cut out the 2 shade pictures. Now cut them into strips on the lines. Each one should end up in 4 pieces. Now, cut out the frame and shade. Next, cut apart the 5 strips of the shade. Now, we'll use our cutting board to cut out the center of the frame. Take out the main card with the inside of the card facing up, some clear tape, and the 5 white shade strips. Start by finding the black rectangle on your card template. Take one of the shade strips and place it inside the very top of the rectangle. Now, secure it in place with a small strip of clear tape, placed vertically on both of the bottom corners. You should be able to flip the top up and down, since it's only attached at the bottom. Next, take another shade strip and carefully line it up under the first one. Again, we'll put a small strip of clear tape on the 2 bottom corners. You should be able to flip the top up on both strips now. Carefully place the 3rd strip under the 2nd and secure it with 2 strips of clear tape on the bottom corners. Carefully place the 4th strip under the 3rd and secure it with 2 strips of clear tape on the bottom corners. Lastly, place the fifth strip under the fourth and secure it with 2 strips of clear tape on the bottom corners. Make sure all the strips can flip up and down freely. Next, find your 2 shade pictures. Figure out which one you want to show first, before the shade is pulled, and which one is second. We'll start with the first one. Notice that there are 5 shade strips on the card and only 4 on the picture. The first picture will start on the top strip, leaving the 5th one at the bottom uncovered. Make sure your picture strips are in the right order and are nicely centered on their strips. Then, add adhesive to the back of each strip and stick it down. Make sure all the strips can still lift up at the top. Here is the first picture. Notice that when we pull the shade down, the second picture appears below. This leaves the top strip blank this time. Let's start by flipping all of the shade strips down. Then, arrange the strips of the second picture in order, starting on the second strip from the top. This time, we left the top strip uncovered. Now, center each strip carefully and stick them down. Now, you should see one picture when the strips are flipped down, and a different picture when they are flipped up. Time to add the frame. With all of the strips flipped up in the first picture showing, carefully lift the bottom strip. Add 2 strips of clear tape to the top corners. Then, flip it down and lay it so that the sticky side of the tape is facing up. Now, pull up the next strip, add 2 strips of clear tape to the top corners, and fold it down as well. Continue this process until all of the strips are taped and folded down. To add the frame, line up the sides of the frame so that they cover the white background strips, and align the top and bottom of the frame with the top and bottom of the picture. Some of the white background will show at the top. Now, gently pull on the top of the frame to switch to the other picture. Pull it back and forth a few times to get everything moving. Optionally, you can add a pull tab at the bottom. Cut a small strip of cardstock in whatever color you like. Right, pull, at the bottom, making sure to leave space at the top to glue it onto the frame. Add double-sided tape to the top. Slide it under the edge of the frame, and stick it down. Test it out. Eureka! Last, but not least, we're ready to fold the card in half. Line up the edges carefully and press it down. Ta-da!